This is literally the worst possible response that you can have to the question, what about your meetings with Jeffrey Epstein? You know? I mean, I guess outside of outright confession, like outside of just straight up being like, yeah, I did that. I did that, and there was a lot of that happened. Okay, maybe that's worse, but none of your business? What? You know who used to teach me about the world? Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky used to teach me about the world. Big Noam Chomsky reader, pretty avid, read a lot of his books. Yeah, the ones you probably know, and maybe some weird ones you've never read. I've got Chomsky on anarchism behind me, taught me a lot about anarchism, and big fan of a lot of his books, obviously. You know, manufacturing consent. Hey, who can talk about the media without talking about how consent is manufactured? You know? Been taking a lot of L's, fat L's lately. Big ones. I saw him the other day. He posted that apparently Russia is doing better in its war crimes than America did in Iraq. Which, when I saw that, I was like, weird. Why are you framing it this way? Like, I'm not here to try and do the fucking you know, the tower of blood, like the scales of blood and body parts and like dead children. It's a very weird game to play because both are bad. Like, it's just utterly bizarre whataboutism to suddenly be like, because I'm not going to sit here and deny that America and U.S. imperialism committed atrocious war crimes that they should answer for in Iraq. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, we're talking tens of thousands of dead kids. Oh yeah, really bad. Bombed hospitals, bombed fucking schools, dead children, war crimes, haunting, horrifying shit. Yeah, no question. Russia's doing that right now. Russia's like bombing schools, bombing hospitals, bombing orphanages, fucking mass graves going down right now. Fucking the Bucha massacre. Like, every single day you turn on the news and it's like more war crimes, more horrifying atrocities committed by Russia. Here it is. You can see it. Look with the eyes. You're looking at the war crimes that are going down. Like, I would never, like, how obsessed do you have to be with always America bad to think that that's an appropriate way to frame any of this, you know? It's like, yeah, horrifying atrocities are being committed right now. True. You know who else did some horrifying atrocities? Pol Pot did a lot of fucked up shit. Yep, Pol Pot did a fucked up ton of shit. A lot of really bad stuff. Yeah, he did. I'm not going to dispute that, but I mean, this one's happening right now. It doesn't need like an addendum. It doesn't need to be like, hey, Russia's committing war crimes. Asterisks. ... It's like, no, Russia's committing war crimes. That's probably what someone started. Like, why does everything, like, it's this weird, bizarre U.S. exceptionalism, but in the opposite direction. Like, no question. And again, I got to do so many prefaces here, so the rest of the left doesn't think suddenly I've gone full lib. No, the U.S. is the hegemonic superpower of the world. The U.S. is causing and ravaging atrocities across the globe and continues to do so, even if it's not directly involved in proxy wars or conflict. There are still countries that are suffering to this day because of a number of things that the United States is doing. I'm not backing down from any of that. Also, there's other countries, and they also have autonomy, and they can do some wild stuff too. They can also do some fucked up things. There's a lot of atrocities that are happening globally that don't necessarily have to have the direct intervention of the United States playing a role. Now, I'm not denying that they aren't playing a role in this one. They are very heavily arming and fueling a large amount of weaponry into Ukraine. The United States is not silent. Yes, this is once again, you can say, a cold proxy war between large superpowers that is taking place, with a lot of countries wanting to sit on the sidelines, just back off and just be like, nah, we disagree with the actions of Russia and hope this will come to peaceful terms soon, but we're also not going to say that we condemn them, and we'll continue to do business with them because if there's an alliance of a whole bunch of other superpowers, they seem to have economic advantages over the United States globally, and I recognize that. So, a lot of L's. A lot of big L's. This is literally the worst possible response that you can have to the question, what about your meetings with Jeffrey Epstein? You know? I mean, I guess outside of outright confession, like outside of just straight up being like, yeah, I did that. I did that, and there was a lot of fucked up shit that happened. Okay, maybe that's worse, but none of your goddamn business? What? I. This is the moment where, now that it's been revealed that you have had not one, but multiple meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, that you have also had meetings apparently with Jeffrey Epstein and Woody Allen and his adopted daughter bride. Yeah, there's a couple yikesy questions going down here. Even if nothing happened, you might want to fill us in on that part. You might want to be like, I had been waiting for some time to calculate the logistics on whether or not I thought it would be a predisposition of me to characterize my initial encounter with, of course, Mr. Epstein as anything other than an incongruent series of, let's just say, mishaps. Yeah, no, okay, but yeah, you got to say something. You got to do something about this. Come on, this, oof. When asked about the connections with Jeffrey Epstein, many business leaders and bureaucrats have offered tight-lipped regrets and apologies. Not Noam Chomsky. In the Wall Street Journal, an exclusive published Sunday said it had first obtained Epstein's private calendar, which outlined numerous meetings with high-profile people, including Chomsky, the famed academic and political activist. When the journal reached out for Chomsky for comment, the linguist had some choice words. First response is that it's none of your business, or anyone's. Second is that I knew him and we met occasionally. Occasionally. This is maybe the most high-profile human trafficking pedophile billionaire ever. I mean, getting up there, like Caligula, maybe is the other exception. Maybe Caligula, okay, but like it's like Caligula and then Jeffrey Epstein, okay. It's not a great thing going down here. So yeah, if you've been meeting occasionally with, again, the most famous prolific human trafficking pedophile in possibly history next to Caligula, then I think at this point you might want to be like, yeah, so here's all the evidence you need. Or here's, like, you're 94. You're 94. I would go out guns blazing. Are you kidding me? I would reveal all. I would be like, all right, here it is. Here's the book. Here's the list. Here's the people who did everything. Trump's a pedophile. Clinton's a pedophile. They're all fucking pedophiles. Everyone's a fucking pedophile. They were all doing fucking pedo shit 24/7. Democrats, Republicans, you name it. Billionaires are pedophiles, and it was a pedophile island. Just fucking go off. Why not? Why not? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know? Epstein, the disgraced financier, accused of sex trafficking underage girls, died by suicide in 2019 in a Manhattan jail as he awaited trial. Epstein's infamous black book of contacts and flight logs from his private jet was first made public in 2015. Epstein's private calendar now sheds more light on some of his contacts. In addition to Chomsky, the journal noted meetings Epstein had on his calendar with the current CIA director William Burns, as well as Catherine Rumler, a top lawyer with Goldman Sachs, and former White House counsel under President Barack Obama, amongst others. Epstein's meeting with Chomsky appears to have taken place in 2015 and 2016, according to the journal. Epstein was first charged with procuring minors for prostitution and a registered sex offender in 2008. Also kind of important. Kind of important. Timeline is crucial here, okay? You can't be like, well, I was unaware of maybe perhaps the incompatibility he has with standard practices in terms of societal norms. No, Noam. No, he was a registered sex offender and he was already charged with procuring minors for prostitution. Well before. Years. You had years and years and years to learn this, you know? In March 2015, Epstein scheduled meetings with Chomsky and a Harvard University professor, the journal noted. Chomsky confirmed for the paper that there were several meetings where they discussed various topics. The journal reported that months later, according to the calendar, Epstein scheduled a flight with Chomsky and his wife for a planned dinner with a movie with director Woody Allen and his wife, Sun-Yi Previn, who is also the adopted daughter of his ex-partner, Mia Farrow. Yes, the less said about Woody Allen, the better. Because, goddamn, if you want nightmares, just Google Woody Allen. If there was a flight, which I doubt, it would have been from Boston to New York in 30 minutes, Chomsky told the journal. I'm unaware of the principle that requires that I inform you about an evening spent with a great artist. Is there no, like, comma there? Like a caveat? Great artist? An alleged child rapist? Alleged own daughter rapist? Chomsky said he discussed politics and academics with his meetings with Epstein. Epstein donated at least $850,000 between 2002 and 2017 to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where Chomsky taught for decades. What was known about Jeffrey Epstein was that he had been convicted of a crime and had served a sentence. Chomsky told the Journal about his meetings. According to U.S. laws and norms, it yields a clean slate. So this one's just, Chomsky, I don't know what else to say except, what the fuck, you know? Just what the fuck, all around. It's yikes, it's shitty, and I'm unhappy, and scared and disgusted. Do you think that Chomsky is losing his mind a bit? Not trying to be antagonistic with that question. He seems like, that's not an antagonistic question at all. I don't know, and I don't want to speculate because that just makes me an armchair psychiatrist, right? So if there's someone who says, hey, by the way, this is the case, then sure. But until then, I mean, I'll say this in the opposite direction, way more eloquent than I plan to be at 94, if I make it to 94. I don't know if I'll be doing full magazine article worth spreads where it's just like straight up like, Lance, what do you think about like Cyber Nixon and the space pirates taking over Quadrant 5? And then I'm like, I think the space pirates, right? Like, no, I don't think I'd be like at that point. I don't think I'd be anywhere near that sharp. Yeah, Jesse Kelly, the Chinese Skulls guy. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Epstein, thankfully I didn't forget about this one. I think we got some flight logs coming out pretty soon, and Michael Tracy's trying to get ahead of it. Does anyone find it strange that the main Epstein victim, the one who started the whole thing, has admitted to being a serial fabricator, but it's had virtually no effect whatsoever on how people view the saga? Almost like facts and evidence have become irrelevant. Almost like. I feel Michael Tracy's got some shit coming up pretty soon and is already trying to run ahead of it, so yeah, there's that.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demmel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojack, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.